dose of sedatives to understand the mind of a liberal. The Kate Daly Show starts now.
Tomorrow will be today tomorrow. So live today. So the future today will be as the past today as it is tomorrow.
All right, just listening to that, my brain officially hurts and I've lost brain cells. So, welcome to the Friday Show. You're listening to the Kate Daly Show, over 26 million served on the podcast of this here live show. And excited to have my guest coming up here. And John Schneider, how are you?
Hey, I'm just great. That
soundbite
is so, if that doesn't say everything anyone needs to
Doesn't
hear
it?
or know in perpetuity. I mean, my God.
I know.
Has anybody addressed? Of course, there are some people saying that was
yes,
AI generated, but
it's
has
her.
anyone addressed that she just sounds completely stoned or drunk off her butt?
She
is anybody
does.
talking about that?
She sounds like she's consistently drunk. It's amazing to me. You know, her poster came out, and all it said was forward. And all I kept thinking was, that's her direction to walk. I mean, you can't even make this stuff up. You know, it was amazing to me that she they're turning her into like this AI creature now. So you get this modified version of her, but it's bizarre for sure.
Right, but they're not going to be able to do that when they debate.
Yes, you're right.
And
you're
the
right.
world knows, as she keeps saying, Donald Trump is afraid to debate me. I mean, They know that's not true.
It's so true. Yeah,
that's like some clown on a street corner saying Muhammad Ali is afraid to get in the ring with me.
Right. No, it's true. It's so true. I love it. John, I've got to tell people just a little bit about what you've been up to, because you have been up to a lot.
Okay.
We're going to talk about
All right.
it. So you have this very extensive acting career, and I'm sure you are part of everyone's growing up years as Bo Duke in the Dukes of Hazzard, just like you are mine. Okay. And I love that about you. But,
well, don't blame me. Don't blame me for growing up. I never have.
Seriously. I mean, I can watch that show still, and it just brings a smile to my face. Jonathan Kent on Smallville, and then Jim Cryer on Tyler Perry's The Have and Have Nots. And then, of course, all kinds of appearances. You were even on Dancing with the Stars and The Masked Singer. And you also have done specials. You have, I don't think people realize this, but you have over 20 albums to your credit and 5 #1 singles on Billboard Country. That's amazing. And then also,
thank you.
I mean, you've done a lot of music, and you have a gorgeous voice. Also, you co-founded, I don't think people realize this too, with Marie Osmond, the Children's Miracle Network Hospitals, and that's raised over $8.5 billion. So, what a good guy! I love that about you. That's awesome.
It's been a long time.
Well, I think
it's not like that happened over the span of a couple of weeks. But I think when we're here, and we are going to leave a mark. Mm-hmm. And whether or not that mark is a good mark or a stain, is up to us while we're here. So I think we have a purpose, we have an obligation, we have a responsibility to leave everywhere we go a little better place.
I think you're doing that. You started a film studio, and what kind of projects do you want to do there?
Well, we already did 9 films, and that you can look at if you go to johnschneiderstudios.com or my Facebook page. You know what? The easiest thing is just go to my app. I have an app you can download it on your phone.
Okay.
And there's crime drama. There's what I call Southern horsepower comedy. Mm-hmm. We did not a parody, but a tribute to Smokey and the Bandit.
Oh, love it.
And then did a sequel to that, and I'm in the process of hopefully in the next couple of months being able to make the 3rd installment of that trilogy. So it's Stand on It, awesome. Poker Run, and then Double or Nothing. But to be perfectly candid with you right now, I've got people in Louisiana who are claiming rights to that property right now. So I'm actually in a legal battle trying to get all that stuff.
Oh man, I wish you
luck
on that. I do. I wish you luck on that. And that you prevail.
Thank you. Yeah.
That I know that you're very.
Well, I'm pretty stubborn. I'm pretty stubborn.
Yeah. But I like that. I mean, I think that's great. And be stubborn. I think it's awesome. Fight for it. And you've been a
Absolutely.
conservative. What's it like to be a conservative in Hollywood, but even outside of Hollywood? What is that like for you?
I'm just first and foremost, I'm from New York. People think I'm from the rural South, but
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm from New York, so that's when I say I'm stubborn. I mean, I come by it naturally. I'm
Right.
pig-headed. I'm stubborn, and when I believe in something, I have the odd belief that if you believe in something, it's worth dying for.
Sure.
So I've always been completely outspoken as a conservative, and for some reason, people have not really lamented that for me.
Funny.
They're certainly not afraid of me, but
Right.
I think I am so forthcoming in my views that people are like, well, okay.
I like it.
I don't agree with that. I had a wonderful conversation with an extremely left-wing friend of mine. I won't tell you who he is, but just a couple of days ago, and we were able to say to each other, gee, I've known you a long time, and I thought you were much smarter than that.
Oh my God. I love it.
So, but he's same thing. So when I hugged him, the last thing I did is I hugged him and I said, well, one of us is going to be delighted in November and the other one is not. So, good luck to us both.
Oh, I love that.
And, that's how it should be. And he said, which to his credit, he said, the day that we can't have conversations like this and be on completely different sides of a political argument and not still love each other,
right,
then our country is gone. Our country is gone.
Yeah.
And I think the left has done everything that they can to make that line of division more than just a line of division. I think they've done everything they can do to kind of sever it with a scalpel so that never the twain shall meet. Sure. And that's one of the many things I believe that they have done intentionally wrong to divide and conquer through their nonsensical propaganda and their cheating. I absolutely believe there are no acceptable levels of fraud. And I think everyone listening can remember that they actually, in defense of 2020, they didn't say there was no cheating and there was no fraud. They just said there wasn't enough to make a difference.
Well,
you're
right,
how much fraud is acceptable? Yeah, how much fraud is acceptable in your household?
Exactly.
How much cheating is acceptable in your life?
So true. Yeah, you're right. You're right. And we are wrought with fraud right now, and we haven't done much about it. And so, that's on all the county commissioners and 3,000 counties plus across the United States, that we could take it into our own hands and do it county by county. But I don't see a lot of people doing that, and we need to keep pressing them.
Aren't they reinvestigating Fulton County?
Yeah.
I think they are.
Yep. And
now, shouldn't that at least temporarily take Rudy Giuliani off the hook?
You would think.
Shouldn't that put his?
Yeah.
You would think. I'm sorry. I'm applying logic to 2024.
Oh, I know. It's so fascinating how we even got to this point. It truly is. Are you just baffled when you look at the news every day like I am?
Oh my, absolutely. And when we're doing things like actually having a debate about whether or not a man should be able to undress in a woman's locker room, or whether or not a man should be able, a biological man should be able to compete in women's sports.
I know. I'm baffled. I'm baffled every single day.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And I have So I mean, how can that question even be brought up for debate?
Right.
So that baffles me. But the other thing, they have been very, very smart because they know that conservatives work.
Yeah.
And conservatives have a very strong work ethic. So conservatives by nature would never think of cheating.
Right.
And people who would never think of cheating never think anyone else thinks of cheating.
That's so true.
So they've taken advantage of our, I'm not going to say our naivete, but they've taken advantage of our valor, of our dignity.
Yeah.
And we have allowed that, but not anymore.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
we're not going to. It's like that movie Network. I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore.
Exactly. I play that clip all the time. I really do on the show.
Yeah.
Because I think we are at that point. I mean, I think we have to truly wake up to what's really happening in our country in order to save it. And I don't know that many have. I think 2020 did a good job of saying, look, folks, we're in trouble here. But I'm hoping that more people are waking up. Why is it that Hollywood is so leftist and agree on all points of their strange ideology? Why is that?
Well, I think it's because the people that actually hold the purse strings, the people who are at the top of the fiscal food chain, are all these ravenous Marxist, communist globalists.
Right.
They really are. So when you owe your soul to the company store, and I don't care how much fame you think you've garnered, George Clooney, but you owe your soul to the company store.
Right. You're right.
Yeah, you've got your tequila that made you a whole bunch of money, but still,
right.
He works for them.
You're right.
He's not an independent thinker. He's not independent. None of those folks are truly independent. So in my mind, in John Schneider's mind, if you're not completely and totally independent, then you are not completely and totally free. So
True.
I am free to express my opinions creatively in any way I want, and there's nobody that is going to stand over me and say, well, no, you can't say that.
I love that.
Now, I may have friends that'll say, well, maybe you shouldn't say that. And I will take their advice under consideration.
Sure.
But
they're just watching out for you.
But yeah.
Sure.
I know.
Yeah.
It's true. It's absolutely true.
I just wonder,
but those folks out there, as free and as powerful as they appear to be to the public, they're not.
No, you're right.
They're not. They're bought and paid for, and they're afraid to lose their next paycheck, because they've already spent their last one.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, absolutely. We're going to head off to a break. I'm going to come right back more with John Schneider. And so glad that you're joining me this afternoon, because I think it's so good to hear.
Me too.
I do. Me too. I hear from people in Hollywood. It's just so fun to be able to connect, and then also just be able to really talk. Like you said, we need to do a lot more of that with each other. Be right back on the Kate Daly Show, Friday show, of course. Michael Yon coming up in the next hour. John Schneider right now. Be right back. KateDalyRadio.com.
Thanks for listening to the
All right, back here with you, and so glad that I'm just so glad that you're outspoken, John, because